Hello. So this is Zappa's beginner guide on Afterlife. I've been playing Zappa for like a few years now, so I feel I feel like it's finally time for me to make this video that I've been thinking about making for like years now. So I'm not gonna waste any time, we're just gonna get right into it. So Zappa is like a stance RNG character pretty much. He has like 4 different stances. You're always gonna start without one. When I'm gonna for the rest of this video, I'm just gonna call his summons. So you're always gonna start in what we call naked, which you're very limited in this stance. You're basically just going to be using your movement options, your insane backdash that is 11 frames and 1 through 10 invul, and your forward dash at low profiles, like so much stuff. It is just it's an insane dash. So the way that you're going to get out of this state is you're going to either use 236p, which is this move right here, or you can also get summons by getting hit. Now the summon you're going to get is completely random both ways. If you've been playing Zappa and you're watching this, you can use the timer to tell which summon you're going to get. But for the sake of this guide, and because there's no timer in training mode, we're just going to glaze over that for now. It's not really too important when you're first starting, so. But yeah, you're always going to start naked, and you basically just want to use your good mobility and your normals, like this 5k here, which is like a really good low crush, to either hit your opponent trying to get in on you, or to run away and like use your DP move to get your game plan started. So I mentioned earlier that he has 4 different summons: the dog, the sword, and the ghosts. And the last special guy is Raou, Big Man Raou. And you can get dog, sword, or triplets completely RNG, but Raou is a special mechanic. Now, once you get 8 orbs, you can get Raou, and he takes away all of your orbs whenever you summon him. So, in order to get Raou, you have to hit them with certain special moves, and it gives you all the orbs. So, Naked Zappa, your day 1 combo is going to be this. And this combo is how you're going to get your game plan started. You're basically just going to route into 2D and dash 236p. This combo is your bread and butter. It's going to be basically the only combo you do is Naked Zappa, because it's like the only combo he has. So yeah, you're just going to want to learn that. Really easy combo, really simple stuff. Basic B&B. So going now into his summons a little bit. As far as the 3 core summons go, get like the simplest to the most complex summons. Arguably Triplets is a bit more simple than the sword, at least game plan wise. So Triplets, it's like a zoning and pressure tool all in one. Basically you want to hit them with this move, 236X. Now what hitting them with this move is going to do, it's going to put them in a curse state, and as you can tell, it's going to throw items at them: the pebble, the golf ball, and the banana respectively. It's kind of hard to see the banana on the stage, but whatever. So the pebble is like a traversing mid that has like tons of block and hit stun. The pot plant is just like an instantaneous, oh, I got hit out of it. It's like an instantaneous projectile that makes it neutral really hard for your opponent, and it can help you extend combos sometimes, but it also can ruin your combos, which is kind of the theme of Triplets. You know, it's really annoying for the opponent neutral, but it can kind of mess up your combos sometimes. But that's just a little trade-off for having the neutral game be played for you, essentially. The banana, oh my god, I'm only getting pebbles. And the banana, it's basically just a super active low move. It hits low and it trips them up on hit. Really excellent for neutral. They can't run at it unless they FD break and block low. So it's really, really difficult to deal with. And as you could tell on this stage, it can be a little bit difficult to see. So yeah, your basic game plan is going to be hitting them with this move. Combos are a little bit awkward on this character, but I don't know why I picked her. But so yeah, once they get cursed, it's going to send out an item frame 1, and then every 120 frames for another 3 spawns. So there you go. It's basically like a full second of you getting items. As soon as you hit them, it spawns an item. And then the next 120 frames, next 120 frames, next 120 frames, and then it's over. And as you can tell, there's a little bit of a cooldown, so they have to come back to you. So if I could use this move and get rid of all of them, as you can tell, I have no ghosts anymore. Now, what this does is now every time you use a ghost normal, you're just going to be put into straight recovery. So, you know, this goes for having one, like, if you have 2 ghosts, you're only going to be able to do 2 ghost moves, but you can still do the third one, you're just going to get put into recovery. So you always want to be mindful of how many ghosts you have, because you might just get, like as you can see here, I'm doing nothing. So your tosses are going to, the ghosts are going to come back pretty quick. Now, as you can see, the ghost that cursed him is going to stay with him until the curse is over, and then it's going to come back to you. And doing like 2H also gets rid of the ghosts, and they stay a lot, like they stay away for a long time. And then your JH is also going to get rid of the ghost, and the cooldown is quite long on your H moves. So you kind of want to use these sparingly, so you don't, you know, lose access to all your moves. And just do straight recovery. Now, it's funny, you can still like do nothing. You can still FRC, but you basically just want to learn like how the Gatlings work. It's relatively simple. It's not that difficult. So like whenever you summon, you want to learn that you should be OTG cursing like most of the time. There are some exceptions. You'll probably learn those as you play. And you just want to learn how to confirm into knockdowns off of your par slash. And you want to definitely 100% the first thing you should learn with triplets is this FRC. Oh, I missed it. The first thing you want to learn with triplets is this FRC. This FRC is everything. It is extremely good, an extremely good pressure extender. And combo extender, and it basically does everything. I was yapping for a good 10 minutes there, but I'll try to be a little bit faster. This video is definitely going to be heavily edited, so... The next summon is the sword. So the sword is basically like a full screen mix-up machine. This JS and JH right here are both overheads, and you can kind of just do them like a bunch. You can do like 6 overheads or something. Well, that was 5 overheads, but... And it's very good. The opponent, like, almost guaranteed has to hold all of this. They can't hit the sword at all. They basically just have to, like, block and try and find an escape. You also get access to new Gatlings, so you get 5p PPP. And you also get 2k 6p, which allows you to do instant overhead mix-ups. So one thing you'll notice with the sword is that sometimes it'll just whiff like that. The way that you want to correct this is to do neutral jump instead of forward jump. Now you want to play around with this in training mode and figure out, you know, your combos, because it can be really confusing and awkward at first. So I recommend, you know, you do some training mode. As you can see, I'm kind of inconsistent with it right now. It's pretty late at night, so a few things to note is that it has a couple of things, like whenever the opponent gets in like this position right here between you and the sword, you basically only have Zappa's normals to like save you, which are like pretty decent, but it's still disadvantageous for you to have the sword in a position like this where it's behind them and just like completely whiffing. You do have this move which brings it back to you. It has an FRC, and if you saw, it just brings a huge hitbox towards you. It looks like a projectile, but it's not really a projectile. You also have this move, you can FRC it, and it's really good for pressure and neutral. Now the sword has no real air unblockable moves except for this, which isn't really it doesn't really function as an anti-air very well. So not even your DP is an anti-air, like an air unblockable anti-air. So they can just block all of this without FD, which makes jumping against the sword very strong and very annoying to deal with. So you want to get your air throws down, and it can be very annoying to deal with jumps. And you have no reversal other than reversal super, which is a pretty subpar reversal. It's definitely a good option at times, but like it can safe jump it very, very easily because the startup is so long. Also worth noting is that sword does not crank any guard bar, so As you can see, if you're looking at their guard meter, there is no guard bar being gained here. Not even our sword car is your only move that gives them guard bar. And swipe, I guess. I never really noticed that, to be honest. None of your sword normals give any guard bar, and I'm assuming this also gives guard bar. Yeah. So yeah, you want to keep that in mind for sure. It's gonna limit your damage quite a bit, but Zappa's not really known for his damage. You're not picking Zappa because he does damage. Second to last summon I'm gonna talk about is easily the most technically demanding summon is the dog. So the dog is a bit daunting at first, because you're gonna see like on Dust Loop, he has this crazy long DMB. So the dog is the most technically demanding summon. However, he's extremely rewarding to learn. He has basically like infinite pressure, like, and this move right here is an overhead, so, which means you can do unblockables. Oh, I missed. And it's pretty crazy. Dog is a very crazy summon. You don't even have to think about mix-ups. You just unblockable them. They just have to hold that. So, as you can tell, if you don't use the dog for a certain amount of time, he just goes to sleep. Look at him. He's very cute. If you want to wake him up, you just press the dust button. And he'll wake up doing whatever move that you inputted at that time. So there I did 5D, and then I can wake him up with 8D. Up dog. Dog can also be kind of weak to jumping. However, you have up dog, which is a very good anti-air. You'll notice you start jumping if you use it like that, just raw. So you want to with the normal, and then you can use it, and you won't jump. Another way you can deal with jumping is you can turtle it like this, and then the dog will absorb the hit, and you can just hit them with a 2H, an air throw, whatever. One other thing the dog can do is move while you're blocking, and you can take hits. Or just like punish the opponent for like doing their offense. And the dog is like the only summon that you can really use your DP in, because you can take the hit and then just DP. So yeah, it's very strong. It's a very strong. So the thing I recommend learning from the very get-go with a dog is your infinite. The strongest positioning with the dog is having them sandwiched between the dog like this, because you know, you can do this. And this is what the very first thing I recommend you learn with a dog. And then once you feel like you know, you got that down, you can start adding in the 4DD.
Okay.
That is the very first thing I recommend you learn how to do with dog. So learning those two things will teach you like how the dog cooldowns work, and it'll basically give you a baseline on what to do with the dog. Some simple offense you can do with the dog, and I'll show you right now. So your offense mid-screen, it's going to be fairly limited compared to in the corner, especially if you're not sandwiched. As you can see, the dog is going to get pushed back pretty far there. And then FE changes everything. But the strongest position that you can get the dog in is sandwiched like that, or in the corner like this. And this is like surprisingly has a very, very small gaps in it. So your offense mid-screen, like up close like this, you're basically gonna like try your best to get them into this position right here, so you can start doing your unblockables. As you can see, this is the CPU, so he's just kind of blocking, but like, but yeah, most players will get hit by that unless they are like really cracked. You also have this overhead that becomes extremely strong with the dog, and it has quite a lot of guard bar plus. You also have this for pressure, and as you can see, it's giving me orbs. So you can do this in pressure, and it has a bunch of blocks done, and it will help you generate Raou. So that's basically it for the dog. finally talk about the big guy Raou. The big guy Raou, I call him the big guy because he's a big guy. He is extremely good. He's extremely simple to play. As you can tell, once you summon him, you need all 8 orbs, like I said earlier. And he's on a cooldown. And this cooldown even goes whenever you're getting comboed. So you want to make the most of your Raou time. He has these insanely busted fireball that's attached to 236S. And it has 4 different follow-ups. The P version, the K version, the S version, and the H version. They obviously all have different functions. With no follow-up, it also just is this, which is extremely plus. You can do combos from it, and I use it a lot on Oki and Pressure because it is just so ridiculously plus. He has all kinds of big normals. He has big ol' air normals. This is the one time with Zappa that you're gonna be able to like swing a huge air normal. He has this massive invincible DP that's extremely hard to punish, and it can be low profiled, but it's very rare that that happens. It reaches up to the top of the screen. It does huge damage on hit. You can that's off of throw, and that's like, which is an extremely prorated starter, and it's pretty decent damage. So yeah, you basically with Raou just want to learn that combo I just did, the 6H loops. You want to learn your mid-screen B&B, if I can do it. That's very basic. You can do more off of that, especially if you reach the corner, you can go into 6H loops. Raou's, he has extremely massive normals, massive reward, and he's your final boss. He's got this insane super that does absurd chip damage, does a lot of damage on hit. It's one of the only checkmate situations in the entire game. It's only like, really, like if you do this and the opponent has no meter and they have very little health left, they're just gonna die. Just be careful because it has a dead zone. Up close, there's a huge dead zone. So while it is invul, it's not going to be used as a reversal pretty much ever. So that's pretty much it. I guess I can go over some naked stuff really quick. This has a really good stun modifier. You can use the stun really fast. His 5k is a very good low crushing normal. It, on counter hit, it knocks them down, which is really good because it goes no TGDP. 2S is really disjointed. Far slash is your little puddle, your spit puddle, and whenever it hits them low, you can do an OTGDP, but up close it's going to be a mid. You know, you got some overheads. This one's really unsafe on hit. As you can see, it puts you right in their face, and it's also -1, so you're just gonna get thrown if you don't FRC. But you can combo it if you FRC. This does not have an FRC. It's also pretty unsafe unless you space it. And Gatling into it from quite far out, so it can catch a lot of people off guard. Your 2k low profile move, it moves you forward, which is pretty good. At most ranges, combos into 2D. But at the furthest range, it basically will never combo into 2D, as you can see here. Your 5p, it's plus. Your 2p is pretty disjointed, also low profiles. It goes under things like Kai Stunnage. Your 6p is also a very good normal. Like, it's extreme low profile. Like, I'll put a picture of the hitbox up on the screen, and it low profiles so well. But other than that, I think that's about it. Zappa is a character I very heavily encourage playing matches with, as opposed to like being a lab monster. Although that definitely helps too. You're not gonna really get a feel of like how his RNG works, how, you know, getting hit plays into his game plan and stuff like that if you're just in training mode. I highly recommend going out and just grinding matches with Zappa. It's gonna help you out a lot. And just getting like a game sense is gonna help you quite a bit with Zappa. He's pretty unforgiving at first because it's gonna feel like the character, you're also fighting the character. But once it clicks, this character quite literally plays itself, and it becomes very, very difficult for the opponent to deal with him. And yeah, hopefully this video isn't too long. I'm going to try and edit it quite a lot and make it nice and palatable for all the new players to come and enjoy Zappa. So yeah, thanks for watching. Once again, I'm Afterlife. If you care, you can go check out all my stuff in the description. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye bye.